In this video tutorial, we'll discuss about factor theorem. Now, this factor theorem will be a piece of cake for you if you know the remainder theorem. And we have discussed remainder theorem in our previous video tutorials. One was a theoretical portion of remainder theorem and another one was the problems related to remainder theorem. If you have watched those tutorials, then this will be a piece of cake for you. I'll put the video links in the description box below. First watch them and then watch this tutorial. Then you will understand it properly. Okay? But still I'll try to cover those points here, what we discussed here. So let's begin with a very basic thing. Dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus a remainder. Grade 6 or grade 5 for mathematics. Okay. Now 12 divided by 4 will give you the quotient 3 and remainder 0. That is 12 is equal to, that is dividend is equal to divisor 4 multiplied by quotient plus remainder, that is 0. That is 12 is equal to 4 multiplied by 3. And why it is important? It's important because in this case, since your remainder is 0, it means that 4 is a factor of 12. That's important. Okay. 9 divided by 4 will give you the quotient 2, but it will give you a remainder. Will give you the remainder 1. Now it's equal to 9 is equal to divisor, that is 4 multiplied by quotient, that is 2 plus 1. Okay. Now in this case, 4 is not a factor of 9 because when you divide 9 by 4, you are getting a remainder. That's why 4 is not a factor of 9. Here 4 was a factor. 4 was a factor of 12, but here it's not a factor. Okay. So imagine that you have a polynomial px, that is dividend, whose degree is always greater than or equal to 1, right? And these points we discussed in earlier video tutorials as well. And its degree is always greater than or equal to degree of gx. What's gx? Gx is divisor, where gx cannot be a zero polynomial. Px is a dividend polynomial, gx is a divisor polynomial. The degree of px will always be greater than or equal to 1, and degree will always be greater than or equal to degree of gx. Okay. Qx will be a quotient when you divide px by gx, and rx, let's suppose we get a remainder. So rx is that polynomial which will represent remainder. Now rx can be a zero polynomial, and when it will occur? When gx will be the factor of px. When px will be completely divisible by gx such that your remainder comes 0, in that case it's a zero polynomial. In that case gx will be a factor of px. Okay. And degree of rx is always less than gx. This is important. If your remainder is not equal to the zero polynomial, then its degree will be less than the degree of gx. That's important. Okay. Now, on the basis of this, we can write as dividend is equal to divisor, that is gx, into quotient, that is qx, plus remainder, that is rx. Okay. If px is equal to gx multiplied by qx plus 0, that is your remainder is 0, the zero polynomial. That's what we discussed here. It means that it is actually equal to px is equal to gx multiplied by qx. Then gx is a factor of px. We discussed this point, right? Because in that case, px is completely divisible by gx such that the remainder becomes 0. Okay, this point is very important. You have to remember this thing. Now, when we discussed remainder theorem, we took px as dividend, gx as a linear polynomial where gx is equal to x minus a. This is a divisor. This is a linear polynomial which is a divisor, and that's why we say that when px is a dividend and gx is a linear polynomial, a divisor, the remainder will be equal to pa. That is, you take this a from here. A is any real number. A is any real number. So that you take this a, and if you put in p at the place of a, at the place of x in px, you'll get some value pa, right? You'll get some value. This value actually will give you the remainder of this division of px and gx. That's a remainder theorem. And what's basically this? What is a? A is actually the 0 of this polynomial gx. 0 of gx. That is important. And we also discussed that when your PA gives the remainder in this case, right? And R is always a constant. R will always be a constant. It will not be a, any 1 degree polynomial or 2 degree polynomial and all. It will be always a constant when your gx is a linear polynomial, right? Okay. So this much is clear. Now, if we take this particular thing here, I'm again repeating, please watch tutorials on remainder theorem and the problems that we discussed on remainder theorem. Then this will be a piece of cake for you. Okay. Now factor theorem says that if px is, actually factor theorem is quite similar, related to remainder theorem. If px is a polynomial of degree n greater than or equal to 1, we have already discussed here this thing, and a is any real number, then x minus a is a factor of px if pa is equal to 0. If pa is equal to 0, then x minus a is a factor of px. Let's denote this x minus a by a gx, right? This one. So if we denote x minus a by gx, then it says that if x minus a is a x minus a is a factor of px if pa is equal to 0. Okay, if pa is equal to 0, if pa is equal to 0, it means that your px will be equal to gx multiplied by qx, right? Now remember what we discussed here. If your remainder is 0, it means that gx is a factor of px, right? So gx is a factor of px. That is, when you divide px by gx and your remainder is coming 0, it means that gx is a factor of px. That's why you are getting remainder 0. So what's gx? Gx is actually x minus a. So this is the proof of first one. Okay. Second one says your pa is equal to 0 if x minus a is a factor of px. And that's very simple. We discussed already that if when you divide px by gx, and your gx is where gx is equal to x minus a, and if gx is a factor, it means that you'll get remainder. Your remainder will be 0. And if your remainder is 0, then what gives the remainder? This one, right? So your pa is equal to 0, because we discuss here that our remainder in this case, when your divisor is a linear polynomial of the form x minus a, then this remainder is actually given by pa, right? It's given by pa. That's why this second one, that pa is equal to 0 if x minus a is a factor of px, is correct, right? Both these two are actually quite related to each other. Okay, now one last thing. If you take gx as x plus a, in that case, don't get confused. If you are taking x plus a, then actually in that case your 0 will be minus a, because if you put minus a at the place of x, this gets minus a plus a is equal to 0. So your 0 changes its sign as per the linear polynomial. Don't get fixed to this one only, that your linear polynomial should always be like x minus a. No, it can be x plus a when you solve the problems, but in that case your 0 will be, like in this case your 0 will be a, but in this case your 0 will be minus a, right? So watch tutorials on zeros and roots of polynomials. We have discussed all those things in detail. watch videos on remainder theorem and the problems related to remainder theorem, then this will be very easy for you to understand.